Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. Call InventHelp today.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-352-1609. That's 1-800-352-1609.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method and to get your free report, go to 52security.com. That's the number 52security.com. 52security.com. Go to 52security.com.
Hurt or injured in a car accident? It can be hard to take the proper legal action after a car accident, but waiting can cost you more. The law requires car accident victims to assert claims promptly. You could lose out by simply waiting. Call 800-709-4667 right now to see what your claim could be worth when handled by a skilled attorney. With a lawyer fighting and speaking up for you, you could be entitled to a big cash award. Call 800-709-4667. That's 800-709-4667. Now it's fast and easy to connect with the legal help you need after your car accident. Call 800-709-4667. The call is free, but you need to act now before time runs out on your claim. You need a lawyer to fight for you, protect you, and get you the compensation you need and deserve. Time's wasting. Call 800-709-4667. That's 800-709-4667. Call now.
I considered suicide so I wouldn't put my family through all the pain.
Many of our warriors are returning home from the battlefield, only to face a new war as they struggle with devastating injuries. At Wounded Warrior Project, we understand. We're there to help.
Even though you think you're broken, you're not. It's the physical and the emotional healing that Wounded Warrior Project provides.
With a gift of just $19 a month, you can join Wounded Warrior Project. You'll help provide critically needed programs and services that rebuild lives.
Beautiful. There you go, buddy.
The ongoing needs of our wounded and their families will continue for many years to come. Now is the time to show your support. Call now or go online with your gift of just $19 a month and we'll send you this Wounded Warrior Project blanket.
It made me feel that there's people out there that care about us.
After this event, we can finally maybe start to heal as a family and move forward.
We need your help. The families are hurting.
For many of our wounded heroes, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Please call or go online right now.
You shouldn't have to pay to talk to the people closest to you, or the people who used to be. That's why Umbrella Wireless is proud to announce the new Friends, Family, and Recent Ex-Girlfriend plan. Now you'll get unlimited calls to your best buddy, your mom, or Cindy, once she realizes that you're seriously meant for each other and should stop screening your calls. Now the 30 minutes of agonizing silence where you're both afraid to hang up may drain your battery, but it won't drain your wallet. And you'll get unlimited calls just to check if she still cares enough to pick up, with no extra charges. With the Friends, Family, and Recent Ex-Girlfriend plan, your phone will automatically answer calls from your ex, because maybe she finally realizes that you're the only one for her and wants to get coffee sometime. Now, after lonely nights of looking at pictures of the road trip you took together when everything was great, your misspelled texts are absolutely free. The only thing you have to pay for is the booze. The Friends, Family, and Recent Ex-Girlfriend plan, because she wants you back. She just doesn't know it yet.
Rod Eccles Show.
And we are back. WashingtonTimes.com. Another Texas story. Police in Overton, Texas, are in a little bit of hot water tonight, and not really, legal hot water, but more of a public perception hot water. It's kind of, but they didn't do anything. Well, I'm not going to say they do it. No, they didn't do anything wrong. And they didn't they did. Let's just say they followed the law. And they didn't really do anything wrong because they were following the law. And actually, this has to do with the Overton, Texas police chief. He's the one that initiated this whole story from the Washington Times. And basically what happened was they forced, let me give you a little bit of, let me just say this. When you have people in your local and state level who really just want to tell you how to live your life, you're going to run into this kind of thing quite often. And you're not going to and we're all just going to sit back and say, well, what were they doing, man? There's nothing wrong with that. I would have helped out, these people. I would have, I remember those when I was a kid, if you're old enough. And, or maybe you're one of the people that's, I used to do that or have that when I was at their age. But when you start electing people who think that they know what's best for you all around, and then they want to tell you how to achieve what's best, what they think is best for you, and they're doing, well, it's in the name of public safety. That's what it is. Public, it's public. But police in Overton, Texas, forced a pair of little girls to shut down their makeshift lemonade stand after only an hour of doing business. Now, sisters Zoe and Andrea Green, 7 and 8, were trying to raise $105 for a Father's Day present to take their dad to Splash Kingdom. Now, the girls are always into making their own money, said their mother, Sandy Evans. Notice that their name is Green. Not sure either. We had kettle corn and lemonade, Zoe explained. Lemonade was for 50 cents. The kettle corn was $1, but if you got both, it was still just $1. She and her sister had been open for business about an hour on Monday and had made more than $25 when police showed up. A code enforcement officer and the chief of police said, she called me to the side and said we needed a permit. We needed a permit. Now, Texas House Bill 970 requires an inspection and permit for the sale of food that requires time and temperature control to prevent spoilage. Now, I don't. Does kettle corn require that? I don't. Probably the lemonade, right? I don't know. Now, she says, Miss Evans says, I think that's ridiculous. I think they're 7 and 8, and they're just trying to make money for their own cause. Now, Police Chief Clyde Carter explained, we have to follow by the state health guidelines. They have to have a permit if they're going to do the lemonade stands. Now, you got to understand, in order to get the permit, you got to have all kinds of, code stuff, up to code. You got to have the equipment. You got to have power. You got to have a building. It's got to be, certain types of equipment, commercial equipment or restaurant grade equipment. And it has to be zoned properly, so the girls would never be able to, even if they got a permit, I don't think they'd ever be able to open up a lemonade stand. I mean, this is just ridiculous. Remember, people used to do that all the time. As kids, they'd have lemonade stands, you can't even have in many communities across this country now, even just a water stand. I remember lemonade stands. Come on. People know what lemonade stands are. And you would have, now I don't remember selling kettle corn. I think that's more of at least in the Northeast, it's more of a newer creation, in the past 10 or 15 years or so for kettle corn, which is very good, by the way. But you might have had things like, cookies, home-baked cookies. Well, you can't do that, obviously. Mrs. Fields, I think, got to start basically in a roadside stand, something like this. And, there are businesses that did. They got started just basically by being, roadside stand. Now, a lot of people are trying to figure out, well, how could this possibly happen? She said, because the police chief, Clyde Carter, explained, we have to follow by the state health guidelines. They have to have a permit if they're going to do the lemonade stands. Now, Overton City Manager Charles Cunningham said selling lemonade at a stand is illegal according to state law. So there you go. They couldn't selling lemonade. It was just illegal. This is not a city ordinance, but a state law that we must enforce. We are not out looking for people selling lemonade. But in this case, the police chief was driving around and saw them in the road and stopped due to safety concerns. Now, Mr. Cunningham said the department spends most of their days looking for serious crime, but this was an exception. Now, I think this was just happenstance thing and not something our police do daily, do every day. This is a police chief talking. He says, I'm 72 years old, and when I was a kid, no one gave something like this a second thought. But over time, they're placing restrictions on everything. The Green Sisters said they plan to take advantage of a loophole and set up their lemonade stand again this Saturday, only they'll be giving their treats away for free and accept donations. Now, since the local media covered the story, Mrs. Evans said the girls have received a wave of support and even received tickets to Six Flags and Splash Kingdom. So there you have it. If you give it away and just take donations, then you're not selling it, so that's the loophole. And now everybody knows the loophole. They're probably going to move to close that loophole. But I don't know where society goes or what makes society think that they should, pick on the smallest of us all. In this particular case, we're doing, the left always says, well, we're doing all of this to protect the children. Well, in this case, the children want to be enterprising and they want to do stuff for themselves. And they're not being allowed to. I mean, they have to, what they're being taught is, hey, look for loopholes all over the place. That's what you have to do, is just look for the loopholes. And that's not a good way of, one, running a country, and two, having your citizens view their government. Oh, man, let's look for a loophole to get around this crap. That probably means that the law should not be a law or a regulation in the first place. Really. Just being frank. And frankly, if a kid sets up a lemonade stand and they're 7 or 8 or 10 years old, I mean, really, you're gonna pounce on them? Now, what's next, of course,